Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Appreciate you jumping on. Do me a favor, hit that like and subscribe button. It certainly helps my channel. On this channel, we're going to talk about cryptocurrency and the latest in the new financial system. Today, we are going to hear about Amazon potentially putting some money against Bitcoin. And Microsoft shareholders are going to vote very soon on whether they're going to invest in Bitcoin as well. That, along with some other great news around blockchain coming from the DTCC and other news, stick around for that. But let's start with pricing. A little bit of a downtrend right now. Don't fret. Don't let this shake you out. Ups and downs are part of the crypto industry. It's part of the journey. We expect much bigger things to come in 2025. So I would say hold tight. Not financial advice. Do your own research. But these things continue to go up. That's for sure. This is just a bit of a downturn, and we know things are volatile. Bitcoin sitting at 95,157. Ethereum 3,572. XRP dropping back to the number 4 spot, sitting at 205. Lowest it's been in a week or so. At least a week, probably a couple weeks. And Solana sitting in the number 5 spot at 209.45. So a little bit of a downturn, but again, for XRP specifically, we are going to see the RLUSD stablecoin release soon. And what you're going to hear about Tether here shortly, that should be good for RLUSD and XRP. Let's jump into some news. First, coming from Black Swan Capitalist regarding Tether, they say yesterday Tether broke its peg again, just slightly, and not a word about it. Whether Tether implodes, it will wipe out 99%. When Tether implodes, it will wipe out 99% of the crypto industry and destroy Bitcoin. It may be down the road, but only the selected winners will emerge once that crash hits. So a lot of people speculate that there's so much Tether in Bitcoin that if Tether goes away, it's going to very much hurt the price of Bitcoin. The problem is knowing when that's going to happen. Timing is obviously everything in crypto, and we just don't know when that's going to be. Moving on from Cowboy.x here, he says, here is a promo ad from JP Morgan's website on how Paramount, who owns 60 Minutes, streamlines their cross-border payments using JPM payments. And he puts a laughing face there because they just had Brad Garlinghouse on 60 Minutes and were grilling him and acting like the crypto industry is nothing but shade and used for money laundering and things of that nature. So those of us that are in the crypto business and have been for a while know that's not true. But it's funny how they say one thing and indicate one thing on the show of 60 Minutes, but yet in the background they're using the JPM coin. Take a listen and watch of this ad.
When I'm out on set, it's a special feeling. It's the energy of making a movie. It's the energy of a crew and cast and extras coming together to make a single product. It's communication, it's relationships, it's timely payments. Paramount's maybe the most historic studio there is, over 110 years old. We manage between 10 to 15 feature films a year. You can be looking at thousands of crew, cast, and extras working at any given time. As a global studio, we are making payments in all types of currencies. We're not just paying in US dollars.
Any singular payment can make or break our production. We pay for equipment, for things like costumes, set dressing, wardrobe, props. The biggest challenge that we face making payments around the world is having them happen quickly and accurately. To have to slow down and troubleshoot is time that we don't have. That's why we have JP Morgan Access. payments can be loaded up and paid within a day, and the approvals can be handled across multiple countries. Our vendors expect us to be able to make payments in the most innovative ways. JP Morgan Payments makes payments seamless for us so that we can focus on what we do best.
Trust is the most important asset we could possess. Without it, we wouldn't be able to make the quality movies that I believe we make. JP Morgan Payments have made our job in our studio and for our filmmakers considerably more effective. It is a fast, reliable, and efficient platform to make payments globally. Every moment, every picture, every set of dailies we watch, to me, is magical.
So watch what they do, not what they say. That's a big thing you'll hear in crypto. Watch what they do, not what they say. Here, Paramount's using the JPM coin. They say it's fast, it's reliable, and yet on 60 Minutes they're beating up the crypto industry. So just gotta be careful about what you watch and what you listen to out there and who you follow. So moving on to Ripple. Mickle here. He says maybe at John Reed Stark, who was on the 60 Minutes episode the other night saying crypto was so bad. He says should pitch his blockchain has no utility argument to them. Speaking of the DTCC, the DTCC tweeted here, discover how blockchain technology is transforming transactions, powering exchanges of cash, equities, and physical assets on a single platform. The future is here. Watch now. Let's take a listen to this gentleman from the DTCC talk about blockchain.
Blockchain actually offers something that's radically different. It allows us to run all forms of value on the same rails. And for example, I can run cash and commodities, debt and equity instruments, public and private, individual pieces of art or other ownership stake titles to property, all on the same financial rails, and engage in financial transactions that are able to clear and settle in minutes, if not seconds.
There you have it. It's coming, folks. DTC is talking about it in minutes, if not seconds. Moving on to Digital Asset Investor here. He says, folks, they're about to make crypto tax-free. I'm laughing hard at any of the dumbasses that just sold, because if you're selling now into cash, you're paying taxes. And Eric Trump says here, retweeted from Cointelegraph, think to have an American president for the first time who's committed to making America the crypto capital of the world. Let's take a listen to this brief video with Mr. Eric Trump.
So think, as I said before, think to have an American president for the first time that's committed to making America the crypto capital of the world. Think about a president who isn't going to allow Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies to be overregulated and stifled by high taxes. Somebody who will fight like hell against those institutions who have waged war on cryptocurrency. Guys, in America, they've waged war against cryptocurrency. Make no mistake about it. They've sued everybody. They've gone after them using the SEC. They've waged war. They've tried to tax them. A person who pledged to add crypto to the United States Treasury. A person who pledged to make crypto tax-free. I mean, think about all these incredible things.
There you have it from Eric Trump, coming from Cointelegraph. Great post there. Now coming from Mr. Mand, he says, as cryptocurrency make their rise in the back end of the financial world and companies have a need to show them on their balance sheets after December 15th, 2024, we will see companies holding XRP, XLM, XDC, Bitcoin, and how much they hold. A real appetite of bullishness may appear. Let's take a listen to this interview with Kathy Wood from ARK Invest.
As regulatory shackles disappear. Of course, we always have to think about safety first and foremost, but I think, as you said, Sam, the chokehold that regulations had on all kinds of innovation was especially true in this space, so to speak.
Absolutely. And I think the grand goal, right? Mars is a grand goal, Doge, both grand goals. And Elon, even tweeted, right? Even if we fail at creating a Mars colony that can grow without support from Earth, it's absurdly ambitious, and the nature will result in the creation of alien level technology that is crushingly better than competitors who merely aim for Earth orbit, right? And I think that's true both with Mars and with Doge itself, but very concretely with SpaceX, and even more relevant than ever, as they're rumored to be raising at a $350 billion valuation, is the re-landing of the rocket in the way that it was done with Falcon 9 really stemmed because Mars is the end goal, right? Some of the early work that we were doing, and you talked to other competitors, and everyone was saying, if you really cared just about Earth, you would do maybe a parachute and catch it, because that would allow you to have greater payload. You don't want to waste fuel for landing, but you need to be able to land and do a propulsive landing if you want to land on Mars and then be able to come back. So really, this guiding light of Mars has put us on this trajectory and brought us to a potential Starship coming in at just hundreds of dollars per kilogram to lower Earth orbit. And the reason that this is so important is, if we go to the next slide, this is how SpaceX is funding this ambition, and this is with Starlink. And so this chart, I think, is extremely interesting, but I'll walk through it because it's a little complicated here. And so this is the satellite bandwidth cost decline. And so on the y-axis, we have dollars per gigabit per second in orbit. And you can see this is a pretty dramatic cost decline. And so what is 1 gigabit per second? You can think of this as essentially enough bandwidth to accommodate 200 people. And so if you get this down to close to $100, then all of a sudden it becomes almost trivial, the cost to launch the rocket, to manufacture the satellite, to get it in orbit, to provide satellite internet to the world. And so it is.
So a little off the beaten path there, but more and more companies, based on what MicroStrategy is doing and holding all the Bitcoin on their balance sheet, are going to move to holding more cryptocurrency on their balance sheet. And here is proof. Altcoin Daily shares Amazon shareholders propose 5% Bitcoin treasury. It's happening. First Microsoft, now Amazon. Proposal to Amazon. Here's the supporting statement. Shareholders request that the board conduct an assessment to determine if adding Bitcoin to the company's treasury is in the best long-term interest of the shareholders. This is not going to stop with Amazon. This is going to continue. We heard about another company. I forget, they make something with trucks. And they are putting XRP, I think, in addition to Bitcoin on their balance sheet. So it is starting to happen, ladies and gentlemen. And finally, here from XRP, on XRP, Eggrag Crypto says, are you ready to bet? Here's my public statement. Before February 2025, XRP will hit a minimum of $6, no ifs, ands, or buts. Mark this down. Who's with me? I certainly hope he's right. Obviously, this is not financial advice from him or me. Do your own research. But that would be a spectacular thing to see in a couple months, or before a couple months is up. So we will see what happens, and ladies and gentlemen. Stay strong. HODL if you can. Obviously, take earnings along the way up. But ride this volatile wave out. I appreciate you jumping on. Do me a favor, hit the like, subscribe button, and we will see you on the flip side.